Next news. Breaking news from the White House.
It's a question that we have wanted an answer to for over a year now. Well, President Trump is reviving that question in American finance. In a fresh interview, he openly wondered if the gold at Fort Knox is even still there. Trump told Cheryl Atkinson he wants to knock on that thick door and see for himself because thieves operate inside the system. This comes as the president doubles down on transparency and accountability across Washington. The mystery is no longer just whispers online. It is front and center again with real momentum behind it. See, every American has skin in this game because Fort Knox gold underpins trust in our currency and our savings. When reserves go unchecked for years, questions about fraud and waste grow louder. Families watching inflation eat their paychecks deserve proof that national wealth remains secure. Communities across the country feel the effects when government institutions face doubt. Now, politically, this signals a larger push against the old guard that prefers secrets over sunlight. Trump's insistence on verification shows he keeps promises to clean house no matter how sacred the target. The outcome will test whether the establishment can still hide behind closed vaults or if the people finally get answers. Now, this growing focus on America's gold reserves makes the case for protecting your own wealth even stronger right now. And here's what your financial advisor won't tell you. By the time the news tells you to buy gold, it's too late. You're waiting. I get it. Everybody's waiting. Waiting to see if the ceasefire holds, waiting to see if the Strait of Hormuz reopens, waiting to see what happens next. But gold is not waiting for you. It moves on fear, on instability, and on the unknown. And it moves faster than you can react. So while you're waiting for certainty, the rest of the world is planning for what comes next. You can prepare today with physical gold and silver through Noble Gold Investments. Visit nextnewsgold.com to get started before the next shock hits. Hang on. The teleprompter jumped, so you're going to have to cut this in. Mute yourself, please. Rand Paul is now joining the effort with a concrete plan. He wants full accounting plus random chemical tests to confirm every bar. That moves us from talk straight into proposed protocol with teeth. Suddenly the mystery carries official weight from a sitting senator. Check this out. This is an interview President Trump just gave to Cheryl Atkinson. The question was raised about Fort Knox. Finally.
What happened to the audit of Fort Knox?
Which one are you talking about?
There was, I think when you first got into office, you and Elon Musk talked about auditing
well,
the gold
we wanted
to make
to go
sure it's
knock
there.
on the door, Fort Knox, very thick door, and to see whether or not we have any gold in there, because we'll take a look at it. It's a very interesting question, yeah. We played with that. I wonder if they left the gold in Fort Knox, because they steal a lot.
No need to really do that, though?
Well, I don't know. I think it's... I do want to go to Fort Knox sometime. I want to see if the gold is there, which I'm sure it will be.
I do want to go and see if the gold is there. So even he's asking the question. He does believe it's going to be there. He wants to knock on the door and check. Senator Rand Paul weighing in today. President Trump and I both want to see the gold, have it properly accounted for, and conduct random analytical and chemical assays to confirm its content. So Senator Rand Paul, the son of Ron Paul, asking the question, demanding the answer, is there gold in Fort Knox? So Paul is backing the push for the full accounting and random assays on the reserves. The headlines continue to flow across the interwebs today. President Trump still plans to audit Fort Knox and confirm its $700 billion gold reserve has not been stolen. New York Post also covering it today. Trump still wants to crack open Fort Knox to personally confirm $700 billion gold cache has not been stolen. So the New York Post is on it. Real America's Voice, though, had this to say when the conversation was just getting started about a year ago.
this is going to be, this is a great story because it's understandable. Rob, we've been talking for the last couple of weeks, maybe several weeks now, about accounting, about certain individual programs, and that's all been interesting. But this is something we can really get our hands on. If they don't have all the gold in there that's supposed to be at Fort Knox, and it's supposed to be $425 billion worth, that is going to be something that no one ever forgets.
Oh, I agree, Jake. I mean, it's quite the story. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I think it's so important to support Elon Musk and the Doge team in the work they're doing. Regardless of whether you're a Republican, a Democrat, a liberal, or a conservative, wouldn't you want the answers to some of these basic questions that have been just sitting out there for so many years? I think it's one of the reasons that Donald Trump has emphasized transparency from the get-go here. He realizes that the American people are tired of the secrets that are being hidden in Washington, Fort Knox being one example, but I'll also point to things like the classified files on JFK and RFK and Martin Luther King. I mean, there are so many things that the American people deserve to know the answers to that they simply don't. And the fact that you look at what Elon Musk has already uncovered going into these different agencies, pointing out the fraudulent payments or the waste and abuse that is taking place at the hands of the taxpayer dollars, I think that he's up to the task at Fort Knox. I'm curious and anxious to see what he finds.
Yeah, and I just don't see the harm. I mean, if there's a question about this, let's put up a web camera with a 24/7 camera on some of the gold. Be kind of fun to look at. If people would watch it, it'd be kind of a little soothing before you go to bed. We could be like Scrooge McDuck. I mean, I don't care. It would be fun to kind of keep our eye on this kind of stuff. And if that means opening a door to something and stopping this political class defensiveness they have about every little thing, I can understand them not wanting complete access all the time, but there's just absolutely no reason for us not to see those gold bars, and we could see them 24/7. All right.
Let's go. Let's open the vault. The golden mystery. What are they hiding? So the question hangs over why no one's checked the gold bar since 2017, and the secrecy continues as Doge pushes for real transparency. Here's President Trump. We're actually going to Fort Knox. This was, again, in the Oval Office when the conversation first began.
Found hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud so far, and we've just started. We're actually going to Fort Knox to see if the gold is there, because maybe somebody stole the gold. Tons of gold.
Some of the agencies.
So I think it was actually, there was a lot of genius in sending it. We're trying to find out if people are working. And so we're sending a letter to people. Please tell us what you did last week. If people don't respond, it's very possible that there is no such person or they're not working.
Some of the.
So President Trump, that was, remember when they sent out that email to all the people in the government? Said, what do you do here? What exactly is your role here? But the big story is that the question about Fort Knox getting audited is back on the table. So Trump and Paul are forcing the deep state to face the ultimate transparency test. No more decades-long gaps in verification. The gold either sits safe or the thieves get exposed. This is the America First standard in action, verifying everything and protect what belongs to the American people. So the bottom line is clear. President Trump refuses to let the gold question fade, and he has a powerful ally in Rand Paul. Americans deserve proof that their reserves remain intact. If the gold is there, show it. So share this report and drop your thoughts in the comments and answer this yes or no question. Do you support a full public audit of Fort Knox? And if you haven't done so yet, join the hundreds and hundreds of patriots who already have. Text raw feed to 844-840-4963. They're bypassing the YouTube suppression. They're getting the direct updates straight to their phone from me. Make sure you check out the Next News merch shelf below this video for America First gear. See, trust is earned through verification, not assumed.
The system controls information. Information control is power. I want you to see this. The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.